Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. Today we have a Valerie Freseman, the minister who serves in the Unitarian Universalist of Southold as their consulting minister. We're so pleased to have her here. After many years in the nonprofit sector, she earned her Master of Divinity from Union Theological Seminary, where she was an active member of the Ecology Caucus. She completed a chaplaincy education and residency at St. Francis Medical Center and has served congregations in Ohio, New York, and New Jersey. She serves as a spiritual director and is currently on the board of the UU Ministry of the Earth, which I know we are all so concerned about. So we welcome her back. Reverend Valerie was here 10 years ago, so we're very pleased, and thank you. Lovely to have you. At UUCSR, you are all welcome. I have to admit, I don't have the printed welcoming, so just that we are all welcome, whatever you believe, you're welcome here. And if everybody knows that we have a lunch after in the social hall, and if anybody is new, we invite you to have lunch on us, and you get the pass at the front desk near the open doors. So glad to see everybody, and Reverend Valerie, thank you.
Our opening words and chalice lighting this morning are from Sherry Woodbury. In our circle again, a circle of vision and reflection, a forum for deciding and empowering. Here we are at the base of another bridge, another space spanning the shores of today and tomorrow, beckoning us to cross the chasm one day at a time. Here we are gathered again at the cusp of the future, at the boundary that holds community together. We are here in a circle of love and trust, brought to this moment by a series of choices and promises, by hope and gratitude, by our own shadows faced and befriended, with a servant's heart, with the leaders listening, with the parents' love, with truer than all our inner trembling. Let us model the health we seek for all and lean into community, the riskiness of being in community. Somewhere out there, all we dream is possible. Somewhere in here, we are sowing the seeds. If you could join me as we sing our opening hymn, number 10008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, when our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
Remain standing for the words of affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need. This do we affirm and covenant with each other.
Our reading this morning comes from Meditations of David Rankin. A religion that promises a life without tension, a life without conflict, a life without suffering, is a religion of passivity, a religion of mediocrity, a religion of insignificance. Everything worth doing in the world is a desperate gamble, a game of chance where nothing is certain. What is love? Is it not a wild and sublime speculation that can end in ecstasy or despair? What is courage? Is it not a hazardous risk of fortune that can end in victory or defeat? What is adventure? Is it not a blind leap in the dark that can end in joy or disaster? What is faith? Is it not a prayerful flip of the coin that can end in heaven or hell? If I refuse to play the game, if I refuse to risk myself, if I refuse to throw the dice, I am never really alive. I am then only flesh, baking in the sun on a middling plateau with no view of the valley and no road to the peak.
And now I have my opportunity to say what I couldn't say before. So, as we know, our summer services include an opportunity to hear from Unitarian Universalists from throughout our association. Next week, we will have a special Music Sunday with Jim Scott, Gather the Spirit, A Healing for the World. You're invited to please join us either in the worship room or online at 11 a.m. At Shelter Rock, we aspire to be a loving religious community where we can grow spiritually and build a more just and joyful world. We welcome you to join us on this journey. And now, each Sunday, we share an opportunity toward living our Unitarian Universalist values in the world by acts of generosity that bring positive change. The months of July and August, we are invited to support Rewild Long Island, which is dedicated to collaborating with local communities across Long Island to protect and improve the biodiversity, resilience and health of regional ecosystem. This is achieved by adopting sustainable landscaping practices centered on the use of native plants. Our community is invited to support Rewild Long Island financially and to add our own acts of conservation and balance in the ecosystem of the precious planet to which we belong. We have, you can, on the screen, it tells you how you can make your offering, as well as those who are here, we have a box outside that you can drop, if you will. Thank you so much.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me, when the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be." I'll be there someday. I can go When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong. Down an unknown road to embrace my fate. Though that road may wander, it will lead me to you. And 1,000 years would be worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through. And I won't look back. I can go the distance, and I'll stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance and my journey is complete. But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part, for a hero's strength is measured by their heart. Like a shooting star, I will go the distance. I will search the world. I will face its arms. I don't care how far. I can go the distance till I find my heroes welcome waiting in your arms. I will search the world. I will face its arms. I would go most anywhere to find where I belong.
All faith communities are sanctuary for both risk and resolve. Risk, in that we stretch the boundaries of our comfort so that we can build a better world together. Resolve, in that because you're a community, you resolve to support one another in life. And in this time apart from time, I invite you now to light a candle for any joys and concerns that are within your heart, so that you may have gratitude also for those who help you to face them with resolve and help you to multiply your joy.
set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Nothing's impossible, I have found, for when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip, be grateful for a pleasant trip, and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is won. You may be sick and tired, but you'll be a man, my son. Don't you remember the famous man who had to fall to rise again? So take a deep breath, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again.
The things people do these days, they just seem plain reckless. Like throwing yourself off a tall bridge with only a cord to break your fall, or ziplining, or skydiving, or even public speaking. Some of us are engineered for risk, and some of us avoid it. Muhammad Ali, arguably the most talented and fearless boxer in modern history, had a huge fear of flying. When he went to the Rome Olympics, he was described as sweating more on that plane than he ever did in the ring. Each of us is filled with surprising contradictions when it comes to discerning the difference between recklessness and riskiness. So where do these calculations come from? When we're growing up, we look to adults to teach us how to behave. They should give us a lens to determine which risks are worth taking and which are not. And of course, we learn from observing the consequences of risky behavior all around us. When I was 12, my parents enrolled me in swimming classes at a lake in New Jersey. In the beginner's class, everybody else was 5 or 6, and naturally, I was twice as tall. At the time, it felt pretty embarrassing to be so tall and yet be just as clueless as the 5-year-olds about how to float and how to swim. But I had 2 options. I could continue with the lessons and risk humiliation, or I could risk never learning how to swim, or at least delaying it. I chose to risk humiliation. And then I felt triumph the day I swam to the middle of that lake with all the scary water beneath. I didn't even notice after that that the kids in my class were half my age because I was having too much fun. To Unitarian Universalist thinker Sharon Welch, an ethic of risk is what makes it possible for communities to keep widening the circle of justice and love. In her book, The Feminist Ethic of Risk, she points to what happens when we devalue control in favor of an increased belief in taking risks. After all, wanting control is understandable. In any period of history or individual life, whether we're in war or peace, in times of economic flourishing or even recession, it can seem as if all the forces of life are against us. And so we want things to stay the same. And we even want a smaller number of people with the power to tell us what the same should be. But when communities always make decisions from the point of view of wanting control, they narrow the scope of their influence and power. They tend towards inertia, and this does not lead to the expansive hearts and worlds we wish to build. After all, we all know what butterflies are. It's risky to ask someone on a date, to attend a protest, to invest in the stock market, to change jobs or careers, to join up with a bunch of people who might criticize your ideas, your writing, or your art. It's risky to do any of these things, even to get on a plane or a train or a car. And oftentimes, it feels risky to say to another person, I'm depressed, I'm sick, I need your help. But when we can admit that we need to give up a bit of control to gain liberation for ourselves and others, so many possibilities emerge. Think of faith community, any faith community. If you and I have a shared goal of creating a thriving community that will minister to the needs of others, from a need to connect through the arts, to take social action, to engage in spiritual deepening, have fellowship and friendship and potlucks and lunches, to explore what we want to save most, and to create sanctuaries for people who need it. We're going to have to acknowledge that with so much on our communal plate, some parts of these efforts will not succeed as we had hoped. We therefore have to open to the possibility of what Paula Cole-Jones calls the community of communities, many needs and possibilities supporting one another. It's not quite that we give up on planning and just jump off the cliff like that bungee jumper. It's not that we have no thoughts about gathering together and determining together what we're going to prioritize. It's not that we are powerless either in a dangerous world. It's that the ethic of risk creates the very grounds on which we can experiment and adapt. When we're willing to embrace a bit of risk in our partnerships, risk in our tactics, we cultivate empathy because we embrace the idea that multiple experiences can inform our own experience. And when we cultivate risk, we allow risk and failure, more importantly, to teach us. We often say in faith communities that a burden shared is a burden halved, and a joy shared is a joy multiplied. Well, I think some similar things can be said about risk. When we take risks together, we might be able to minimize them and reap the rewards. The ethic of risk also helps us examine where exactly the transformation needs to happen. Who in our communities are experiencing harm the most, and who gets to avoid it by privilege or power? How can we change that equation? What will result? We find hope because there are people that are willing to help us take on new possibilities, to create mutual aid hubs, for example, to help us see the reality of projects that are no longer serving us. And how precious our belonging feels to us when we find that community of risk takers. Think back to a time when you felt you had found a sense of true belonging. Perhaps it was a friend group during school. Some people who truly understood you and understood what you were passionate about and why. People who had your back, who filled in for your family in ways that others could not. People who listened to your anxieties. When we cultivate an ethic of risk, we find these communities and people who can foster belonging, who can say to one another, I am in it with you. Let's push the envelope together. I put my lot in with you. Let us do some risky things together. We all know that finding your people is not an easy thing, but it is a precious and eternal thing that we all need in order to survive. The potential of a community of belonging is therefore only as high as the risks people take to try to make it flourish. I do not think that it requires bungee jumping or even swimming to the center of the lake if that's not your cup of tea. There's no priority for behaviors that are unsafe. But it does require another element, this ethic of risk, the ethic of trust. It does not happen overnight. It happens slowly and with deliberate relationship building. Years ago, I attended a training by the Industrial Areas Foundation on faith-based community organizing. We did not start out by creating loads of creative protest tactics. We did not sit in a group and listed all of our demands for the Cleveland Public Schools about how they needed to change things to make the district's schools run more smoothly for kids in every area of the city. That's not how we started. The first thing that we did was learn each other's stories one-on-one, which is always the basis for a community of trust and action. How can we be ready, set, go in our attitude of hope and action if we've not devoted enough time for this? How much time is necessary? how much better it is if we build up these networks in trust and friendship. Moreover, how can we bounce back from uncertain and unfinished outcomes if we do not have this wide-ranging group of people who are willing to partner with us, listen to us, and create new allyships? Let the fellowship that you create in this community here, with all of your combined time, talent, and treasure, be one of risk-taking and belonging-making. For if you came to Faith Community to always have your ideas affirmed 100%, then I doubt you will be happy in any good faith community. If you have no desire to meet someone with a different viewpoint, then I don't know if faith community should be for you. If you never want your mind challenged or changed, then a good faith community, well, it probably won't be for you. But if you want to expand your ethic of rest and learn to be present with abundant love, joy, change, and generosity, those UU values, hopefully, I trust, hopefully, this community will be one that will affirm that. Amen, Ashe, blessed be, and shalom. If you could join me and rise in body or in spirit and sing your closing hymn, number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song.
Life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real through far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love prevails in heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? To prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing?
Our closing words and chalice extinguishing are those of Craig Rowland. As we extinguish this chalice flame, may the warmth of its light remain within us, guiding our steps and our hearts. Let us carry forward the strength of this community, the courage to speak truth, and the hope that transformation is possible. In each breath we take, may we remember that the work of love, justice, and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. Go in peace, with the light of this gathering to illuminate your way.